Hey guys, welcome to Benj's Builds and part 3 of building the Halo 3 map, Last Resort. Let's dive into this week's section. Got the base plate all hooked up, let's start throwing some bricks on it. Figured it made the most sense to start out by building this bridge. I built it up from the base plate with the intent of building the sand around it. I ended up taking it apart because I built it 4 studs wide, and I think it looks way better at 5. So I've got it reattached, and I think it looks way better. A lot more room for minifigures to move around on. Now it's just time to build it out. I've extended the bridge out more, and I've built the tower. It's designed exactly the same as the tower on the other side of the map. An issue I quickly ran into was trying to figure out how to hide the seam at the base of the tower. And because I ran out of light tan wing plates, I actually can't build around the bridge properly. So I have to totally rethink how I'm going to attach this bridge to the sand. What I decided to do was just lay it flat on the sand. I'm going to use some tiles so the contact point of the sand and the bridge are flush. If you pause and look very closely, you can see at the base of the tower and the bridge that there are some tiles underneath it, but I think I've hid the seam very well. Here's the other side of the bridge, and you can tell I'm already starting on that roof, and I think I'm nailing that ruins aesthetic. You can also better see those tiles I was talking about holding up the walkway. I've finished up the walkway, and I've capped off the tower with one of those Tatooine domes. Started building out this kind of open deck area. It's actually the last big chunk of the ruins for this entire build. I'm using that same idea of laying bricks on tiles to allow for a smooth transition when building at different angles. Comparing this to the game, I actually realized I got the proportions of the tower wrong and built it a bit tall, but it actually worked out because it gave me a lot more of these brown and tan nougat pieces back. Finished up the deck along with the staircase that leads up to it, and I've started building out the contour of the ground, which is a lot more dirt and grass than sand on this side of the bridge. I've also built up these windows in the staircase that will lead into the final piece of ruins that I'll build in the next section. I'm now building up the mountain on the back side of the tower, trying to make it look like the tower was built off of it, and I'm really liking how it's looking so far. The ruins took me a lot longer than I expected them to for this section of the build, so I unfortunately won't be able to get as far as I wanted to this week. I had already wanted to leave the part of the build where the fan will go, because I'm going to save that piece for last as the finishing touch of this map. But overall, what I did get done, I'm super happy with. I think it looks fantastic. And even though I ran out of time, I'll be able to complete what I didn't finish this week in the next part, which will be out in 2 weeks. And this part, when attached with the other 2 sections, no longer fits on my desk, and so I had to put it all on the floor. And because of that, I went ahead and just attached the rest of the base plates to again show you the scale of how big this map will be, and just to show that I'm not even halfway done yet. Well, anyways guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this build series, and I will catch you in the next one.
Wart wart.